That day, the day of doom, still plays clearly in my mind, not because I cannot let it go, but because it refuses to loosen its grip on me. Some days are carved too deeply into the soul to ever truly fade, and no matter how much time passes, they return uninvited, sharp and whole as if they happened yesterday. One Friday morning, I remember I was standing outside with the big sufuria in my hands, the metal warm against my palm. And when I saw people running towards our homestead, their voices reached me before their faces did, wailing, sharp and broken, the kind of sound that does not come with good news. My heart dropped before my mind understood. In our village, people only run like that for one reason. You know it, right? Death. Who could have died? I thought to myself. My siblings were here, safe, playing nearby. I had seen them with my own eyes. My parents had left 1 hour ago. They were strong. They were careful. Nothing like that could happen so quickly. Not to us. Not today. My thoughts raced ahead of my fear, searching for another explanation. Any explanation for that matter. Maybe it was someone else's family. Maybe there had been a snake bite down the road. Maybe it was a neighbor's tragedy spilling into our compound by mistake. I stood there frozen, the sufuria slipping slightly in my hands as more people appeared from every direction. Women beat their chests, some covered their mouths, others cried my name, but their voices sounded far away, like they were calling from underwater. Dust rose from the ground as they rushed in, and with it came a fear so heavy it made it hard to breathe. I did not scream. I did not cry. I just stood there. Someone grabbed the sufuria from my hands before it fell. Another pulled me into a tight embrace, too tight as if holding me could stop what was already happening. Words were spoken, but they tangled together. Accident, road, hospital, gone, gone. That word cut through everything. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Constant cries will be heard occasionally, and words like Otieno, utho wewe nyithindo gimaleti yawa, will be heard during the silent sobs, and sometimes during the loud moans. Angomo timore ne en jachien mane. Be strong, people would say. That was how I knew. No one sat me down, no one explained carefully. In our world, death does not always arrive with words. Sometimes it arrives with silence so loud it breaks you. My parents were gone. An accident. That was all they said at first. An accident. As if that one word could hold the weight of two lives ending and minds splitting open. I was 15 years old. Old enough to understand everything, but too young to survive it. The days after blurred together. Crying came in waves, mine and everyone else's. Women wailed the way only grief touches them. Men stood outside, quiet and stiff, discussing transport costs and burial dates like logistics could keep them from feeling. I watched all of it from somewhere far away, like I had stepped out of my own body and left a girl behind who looked like mine. The burial came quickly. It always does. In our culture, the dead are not kept waiting, even when the living are not ready. My parents were lowered into the earth side by side, and I remember thinking how unfair it was that they would not wake up together again. People came from everywhere, relatives I barely knew, neighbors who had never spoken to us before, church members, friends of friends. They brought food, chairs, condolences, and promises. So sorry, my child. You are not alone. We are here for you. We will help you. We will stand with you. I heard those words over and over until they began to sound the same. Hands touched my back, heads shook sadly, voices cracked when they spoke of my parents' names. And every single person promised something: support, school fees, care for my younger siblings, guidance. They spoke with confidence, as if love alone could raise children. I believed them. I had to. After the burial, life was supposed to continue. The chairs were taken away, the cooking pots returned to their owners, the mourners slowly disappeared back into their lives. The house grew quiet in a way it had never been before. At first, the promises stayed. They hung in the air like incense long after the prayers had ended. Every visitor left something behind: words carefully chosen, voices heavy with sympathy. We will be checking on you. You are not alone. Whatever you need, just ask. For a while, those words were enough. I learned to count time by hope, by the next phone call, the next visit, the next knock on the door. Each morning carried the expectation that someone would remember. But days passed, then weeks, then months. When calls didn't come, excuses did. Things are different right now. Let us see how it goes. God will make a way. One afternoon, after gathering courage for days, I followed one of those promises back to its source. My uncle's house was lively, music playing softly, food cooking, laughter drifting from the kitchen. Life uninterrupted. I sat on the edge of a plastic chair, my hands folded tightly in my lap, rehearsing the words I had practiced all the way there. You said I should come if I needed help, I said quietly. School is opening. They are asking for fees. He did not look surprised, only uncomfortable. His eyes shifted, already searching for an exit. Things are not easy, he replied, sighing deeply. We all have responsibilities. I nodded quickly, eager not to seem demanding. I understand, even a little. Let us see how it goes, my uncle interrupted, standing up. Maybe next time, God will make a way. The conversation ended there, not with refusal, but with postponement, with faith offered where action had once been promised. The walk home was quiet. Each step felt heavier than the last. That was when the words began to change their meaning. You are strong. You will manage. Strength became a sentence, a way for adults to step away without guilt. The fridge grew emptier. School fees became whispers I avoided thinking about. Shoes wore thin. Nights stretched longer. Each problem was met with reassurance instead of solution, comfort instead of commitment. I learned a new kind of waiting, the kind where you already know nothing is coming. The promises didn't end dramatically. They dissolved, one by one. They were replaced with silence. People stopped explaining, and they stopped apologizing. They stopped coming. Reality arrived softly but stayed firm. No one was going to rescue us. No one was going to show up with answers or money or a plan. The help promised at their graveside had been meant for the moment, not the future. Relatives argued in low voices about who should take us in. Some suggested separating us. One child here, another there. Others avoided the conversation entirely. Help was always coming soon, just not today. Not this month. Not even when school fees were due or food ran out or my siblings cried themselves to sleep. Society is generous with words in time of tragedy. It is patient with grief but impatient with responsibility. Schools opened without me. My uniforms stayed folded at the bottom of a trunk. Washed so many times it began to fade. as if it too was learning how to disappear. Every morning, I watched other children walk past our house, their bags heavy with books, their voices loud with futures that still belonged to them. At first, I told myself it was temporary, just this time, just until things got better. But hunger does not wait. My younger siblings cried at night, their voices thin with need. They asked me questions I didn't know how to answer. When will we eat? When is Mama coming back? I learned how to lie softly, the way lies are taught by necessity. Soon, tomorrow, it will be okay. Soon never came. Tomorrow learned how to avoid us. The day I stopped going to school did not feel important enough to mark. That was no goodbye. I just stayed home. I folded my books and packed them away like fragile things I might one day return to. I did not know then that some goodbyes pretended to be temporary. I started looking for work. Everywhere I went, people looked at me first, then passed me. "Why are you not in school?" they asked, suspicious and sharp in their voices. I explained until the words became rehearsed. My parents have died. I had siblings. We need food. They shook their heads. "You are too young. Come back when you're older. Go back to school." As if school was something I had simply misplaced. Some days, I was sent away gently. Other days, with irritation, like my hunger was an inconvenience. Doors closed politely, firmly, repeatedly. I learned how rejection can wear the face of concern. At home, neighbors asked the same question. "Why are you always here? Why are you not in class?" I smiled, I nodded, I said nothing. How do you explain that survival becomes louder with education? That responsibility arrived before childhood had finished unpacking. On the rare days I found work, washing clothes, scrubbing floors, carrying loads heavier than my body. The pay was small and uncertain. Sometimes I was paid late, sometimes not at all. I said thank you anyway, because gratitude felt safer than honesty. At night, when my siblings slept curled against me, I allowed myself to remember the sound of chalk against the blackboard, teachers calling my name, my parents' voices reminding me that school was my way out, my future carefully protected. I missed being seen. I missed being held. I missed being someone's responsibility. I missed my parents in ways that hollowed me out. The way my mother's hand would rest on my head, grounding me. The way my father believed in me so fiercely it felt like protection. Now, belief was something I could not afford. Morning always came too quickly, and I rose with it, tying strength around myself like an armor, even though it cut into my skin. At 15, I became many things: provider, mother, shield, everything except a child. And in the quiet moments when the house was still and the world was busy forgetting me, I mourned more than my parents. I mourned the girl I was becoming without guidance, without love, without the promise that was supposed to save us but never came. I am 19 now. I carry years in my body that do not match my age. I have learned things no classroom ever taught me. How expectations can be built on graves and still collapse. How disappointment can become routine. How hard work can keep you alive but always whole. I learned early that promises are easy to make when grief is public, and harder to keep when life becomes ordinary. For a long time, that knowledge made me bitter. I replayed words people spoke with confidence and walked away from with ease. I held their faces in my memory and wondered how hope could be handed out so carelessly. But somewhere along the way, I chose to forgive them, not because what they did was right, and not because it didn't hurt, but because carrying anger felt heavier than everything else I already had to carry. I released them, quietly, without announcement. I let their broken promises stay in the past where they belonged. I survived. I learned how to work even when my body begged for rest. I learned how to stand when no one was behind me. I learned how to love my siblings with a kind of devotion that feels like inheritance, like something my parents left behind for me to finish. Some nights, I still dream of school, of sitting at a desk with my name written neatly on the cover of a book, of being asked questions that do not begin with "why are you not," but "what do you want to become?" That dream has not died. It has only been waiting. I do not know when I will return to a classroom, but I believe I will. Hope, I have learned, does not always shout. Sometimes it survives as a whisper that refuses to go silent. I am 19. I have been disappointed. I have been stretched thin. I have been strong. And I am still here, still believing that one day I will sit down, open a book, and finally continue the life that was interrupted, not ended.